Your energy's gone off. Your
Correct.
electric's gone off.
So I look and I say, well, the fan's off. That makes sense. And then I go to my light switch and I realize, oh, my lights are, there's definitely no power here. I have to tell you, really was the last straw for me. This,
Go on.
was it last week? Yeah, maybe the first week because we haven't talked in a couple of weeks.
No.
So I think it was like 2 weeks ago or what. Oh no, maybe it was even last week. It possibly been last week. Anyway, it's like it was really hot here for a number of days. Okay, we probably not in the 40s like you guys, but we were having very high
40s.
30s. We were
Yeah.
having very high 30s, extreme humidity, like
Mm.
crazy, whatever. And I had my fans all on in my place. And basically, as long as I'm sitting here in the fan, I'm usually okay, even though it's might be warm air, but at least there's a breeze. I just need the
Yeah.
breeze. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting here, and all of a sudden my fan goes off. And I had been cleaning my place. I was in the
Mm.
middle of cleaning my house.
Yeah.
And I was about maybe 20 minutes left, which is I was just finishing up my kitchen and whatever. But I was okay. I didn't. And I was listening to something on YouTube while I was doing my floors, 'cause sometimes I just listen and to certain things where I know I don't need to watch because there's not
Yeah.
going to be any visuals. Certain
Yeah.
podcasts I can just listen. And my fan goes up. I didn't notice my fan go off. And all of a sudden, though, the YouTube stopped talking because what happens is it goes into a
Yeah.
spin because the video is like stuck because it can't play
Yeah.
anymore because there's no internet. Well, why is there
Right.
no internet? Because I have zero power.
Your energy's gone off. Your
Correct.
electric's gone off.
So I look and I say, well, the fan's off. That makes sense. And then I go to my light switch and I realize, oh, my lights are, there's definitely no power here. Now,
Okay.
so this was on a Tuesday. So I said, okay, well, I'll just wait 15, 20 minutes. I'll finish up the floor. I don't, I'm doing manual labor at this point. It doesn't matter. I don't need electricity to wash my floor. I don't need electricity to do my dishes or finish the sink or whatever.
Have you got your own trip switch or is it a master trip switch for
No,
the whole
no, I have
building?
my own trip switches. Okay, here. I
So
have
did
a
you check
box right
those?
here.
Did you check those then?
No, I didn't check them because usually because I noticed like the trip switches, there's like there's like a set of let's say plugs that don't work on sort of one wall, and those are the trip switches, but this
Yeah.
was other places, like was
Okay.
everything. I noticed everything was gone.
Yeah, but I've got
I
a
don't have the
master trip
main.
switch.
I don't have the main. I have enough to do sort of one set of whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, long story short, I said I'll just wait 15, 20 minutes. I'll finish up my kitchen because then I can say my place is completely clean. I'll tie up my garbage bags. I'll take them down to the garbage place downstairs. And while I'm there, I'll go across the street and just see if it's this building or it's other buildings.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it had been off by the time I finished cleaning about 20 minutes, and that's a little bit long for it to be off. Like usually it
Yeah.
either comes back on itself or
Yeah.
something, you start to recognize something when something's unusual. Let's put it that way.
Mm.
I took my garbage down, I go out the front door and I'm looking, and as I'm looking, I see a guy from the building who's, two above me, and he starts coming this way, and I said, "Oh, hey, like did you know?" And he goes, "Yeah, I came out for the same
Mm.
reason you came out because I wanted to see if it's just
If it's
us
just
or who."
us. Yeah.
So he says, across the street, they have power. These guys have power, those guys. So it's just us. And, but everybody here seems to have power. I'm like,
Right. So it's
okay.
just your building.
Yeah. So I
Mm.
said, maybe we should call the maintenance girl, who I don't really think is a maintenance girl, but one of the girls who gets free rent and
Yeah.
maybe does something from time to time if she feels like it. And he said, "Oh, she's away on vacation for 3 weeks. Didn't you know?"
So there's nobody in there sorting out the building.
So I said, "Really?" I said, "No, I didn't know." I said, "How did you know?" And he said, "Oh, well," and then he like points to this spot beside the elevator downstairs on the wall. And he goes, "Oh, well, there was a sign there, but the sign's not there anymore." Okay.
Oh gosh.
And I
Yes.
said, "So how am I supposed to know she's gone if I didn't come down in the time that that sign was up?"
Yes.
And I'm sure on that sign it says, "In case of emergency, phone this number."
Yeah.
But the sign's not there.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
But we'll come back to that. Bear this in mind because we'll come back to that later in the week.
Mm.
Okay, so I then said, "All right." I said, "Well, oh," I said, "Is, who's the backup then?" He
Yeah.
goes, "I don't know, but I think it said so and so's name on that sign, but I can't tell you for sure. But I don't know the person's phone number because it was on the sign."
Fine. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, "Okay, well, let's just, wait a bit more." So, we're waiting and nothing's coming on. So when I text a woman who's been in the building longer than I have, because I
Yeah.
know she is like me. She has no patience for this owner guy and has had bad experiences and blah, 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 blah. So if anybody's going to have numbers of all kinds of people, it's her.
Mm.
So I text her and I said, "Hey, I hear this woman is on vacation. Do
Mm.
you happen to know who's the backup? Do you have any phone numbers? Yada, yada, yada. The power's been out for 45 minutes."
Mm.
Okay. So I just texted her because I had thought she was working. She wasn't working, but she wasn't in the building at the time
Right.
it happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she comes back to me and says, "I hear this guy and this guy are around. Here's two phone numbers."
Right.
Okay, so I call the first guy only because he's not really a maintenance person of the everyday, but he's the guy who does major things. So he's the guy who redid my bathroom. He's the guy that redid
Oh,
my
okay.
kitchen floor for me. And so I like him. I know him. He's smart. I figure
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to a smart guy.
Yes.
Okay.
That
Even
makes
though
a
it's
big
not
difference.
his responsibility to do anything of the kind, but she
Yeah.
had said to me, he's probably in the building.
Ah,
So I said,
okay.
"Okay," because he was probably working on somebody else's apartment to get it ready for somebody new to come in.
Yes.
That's what his responsibility is.
Okay.
So I said, "Okay, fine." I said, "I'll call him." So I call him up and I say, "Hey, how's it going, Pat?" And
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, whatever." I said, "You wouldn't happen to be in the building, would you?" And he said, "No, actually, because I think he was at what we call a Renault Depot, which is the renovation depot kind of place where you buy all things for when you're doing renovations."
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think in English they call it Home Depot, but in Quebec we call it
Yeah.
Renault Depot. Okay. Like a
Yeah.
renovation, a renovation. Anyway, so he's like, "No, I'm at Renault Depot and I'm getting some stuff or whatever." And he goes, "Are you there's no power in the building, right?" And I said, "Right, correct." I said, "Are you on your way back?" And he says, "Yeah." He goes, "But I'll look into it and I'll call you back." So I'm like,
Okay.
"Okay, great. Okay, fine." So he'll call me back. So in the meantime, I'm waiting 15 minutes, more minutes. So now it's an hour and I'm sitting here and I'm like, "Okay, what the hell am I going to do?" Because I got no internet, so I can't watch anything. I can't do anything on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I can do stuff still on my phone because it would flip from any internet to the phone system, like the
Yeah.
satellite phone. So I could do on my phone, but I don't, after I read my email on my phone, I'm not watching movies there, or, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I can't watch television, whatever. And it's sweltering in here because it's 30 something degrees outside.
Go to a cafe down the road.
Okay. So I said, "You know what? I will go over to the pharmacy because I can walk there because let's remember, I haven't been able to walk far.
Yes.
I can walk over to the pharmacy. I had something I needed to pick up. Let me go there and I
Hmm.
will get what I need. And then, I'll see from there. But at least I can go there and I can go stand in their AC for a bit while I peruse the aisles of the pharmacy
Yes. And get cool.
and get cool. So I walk over to the pharmacy, and as I get to the front door of the pharmacy, there's people standing in the doorway, people that work there, and they're saying, "I'm sorry, we don't have any power. You can't come in because we can't,
Oh,
registers and all that. We can't." I said, "Oh, interesting." So I said to them, "Why do you have no power?" And she said, "Oh, the city turned it off." So I
what?
found out that my building and the pharmacy are on the same grid. So then I said, okay, well, when is the power supposed to come back on? She goes, oh, at 1:30. Okay, now when it went off, it was 11:30. So this was going to
Okay.
be a 2-hour event. So I said, okay,
So
no
they knew it
problem.
was going off. So they knew it was going off then in
Well,
the
they turned
pharmacy.
it off. She said she thought they turned it off because there was either a fire somewhere or
Okay.
something happened or who knows what, and it was wise to turn it off. Anyway, I don't know. Okay. I don't know
Mm.
if that's true or not true because to be honest, there was no fire trucks around. There was no fire in the neighborhood. It's the two of us
Yeah.
on, you know what I mean? Like everybody's always got what they think is the real story, and nobody has the real story.
Good
This is what
boy.
I also learned later in the week. Okay.
How did she know it was going to come back on at 1:30 then
I don't
if
know. I'm assuming somebody called the city and said,
uh
hey, we got no power.
what's
What the
going
heck is
on?
going on? Now,
Yeah.
maybe if there had been some real maintenance in my building, they would have done that and would have informed me. But no, I had to go all the way over to the pharmacy
See?
to discover this. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm like 1:30, no problem. You know what I do? I look at my watch. I'm okay, I can handle till 1:30. What I'll actually do is I'll go a little bit further because I see over there and I can walk over there. There is a little bakery. It's called Première Moisson.
Hmm.
Very big, nice chain here, and they make beautiful things. It's lovely there. They have a big, lots of tables, and I can have a coffee, and I can have a croissant, and I can sit and just whatever and enjoy
Super
the
cool.
AC, and have a nice coffee and whatever. And by 1:30, I can walk back to the pharmacy, pick up the thing I need, then walk home, and I should have power. Everything should be fine. I go,
Sounds
I have
interesting.
my croissant.
Cheeky.
I have my croissant, my coffee, and I realized they had power and they're beyond the pharmacy. So this is where I'm finding it's interesting. How does the grid work?
Work.
And not
Yeah.
to say I don't get, not that I don't get it, because the pharmacy needs a lot of power. And then my building is not just one building, it's almost a whole city block because it's two buildings, but it's connected underneath. So it's
Yeah.
almost like one big building, but it's, whatever. So there's like at least 80 units in the big city block. Okay. So a lot of power there and that grid, I get it. Okay. Anyway, so I have my coffee, my croissant. I walk back to the pharmacy and it's still not open up for 1:30.
Oh
So I
no.
said, I was here like, half an hour ago. You guys, she said, oh no, yeah, I don't know. I don't have any updates for you. Sorry, but I can't let you in. And I'm like, okay, thanks. So now I'm like, what the heck am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to walk
Panic.
back to
Yeah.
my place. So I walk back to my place.
Mm.
And then I'm standing outside, and lo and behold, the guy I had phoned, Pat, he shows up and
Okay.
he's like carrying his bags or whatever out of his truck, and he's coming toward the front door because I'm sure he's just going to dump them in the building. And I don't know, maybe he'll go sit in his car in the AC. I contemplated that. But guess
Mm.
what? When you have a car in a garage and there's no power, you cannot open the garage door.
Oh God.
So it's not like I could even just turn my car on and run my car with my AC and sit in it because it would be fuming up with
Garage.
So
Eek.
I'm like, anyway, so he comes in and I'm like, what's going on? And he goes, oh, the city, they turned it off, but they said it'll be back on at 3 p.m.
No. But they didn't even tell you.
Well, this is okay. So this is the thing. Like, here's the thing. They probably tried to phone. Maybe they phoned the owner and the owner's an idiot. He doesn't bother to tell anybody. Maybe they tried to reach out to the girl who they know because she's the one who normally deals with stuff. But guess what? She's on vacation for 3 weeks.
And
And
no,
since there's no phone number on a piece of paper that says who's a backup, maybe they could have had nobody to talk to tell anybody. Thursday comes along. And I'm sitting in here doing my usual whatever, and the fire alarm goes off.
no.
So my fire alarm is like in each apartment, they have the thing and they make it so loud that you cannot sleep. It's not possible for you to sleep through this, okay? 100%, unless you are dead. You are
Fair
not
enough.
sleeping through the sound of this thing, okay?
You'd
It's
hope.
very loud. It's
Yeah.
not like a ringing of a bell. It's
Mhm.
like it's like, and it's deafening. It's
Right.
deafening to the
Yeah.
point that I have to leave because I have tinnitus, whatever you want to call it. And I'm afraid I'm going to lose the rest of my hearing because that thing is so loud.
Out. Yes.
So no matter what, I get dressed and well, I'm not already dressed, but I just grab my wallet and whatever, my phone, my keys, and I walk down the stairs and I'm going toward the front of the building. And of course, it's raining on Thursday. So I'm standing outside in the rain and
Hmm.
people are starting to come out of the two buildings and it's going and it's going and it's going and it's going and it's
Mm.
going and no fire trucks are coming. And it's going, and it's going, and it's going. And I'm finally like, well, Jesus Christ.
Mm.
911.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in this building. The fire alarm's got off. And she goes, okay, madam, where's your name? Blah, blah, blah. Where are you? Blah, blah, blah. I said, here. And she goes, do you see any smoke? I said, well, I'm standing outside the front of the building. No, I see no smoke. But if you'd like, I can walk around the back.
Mm.
But I can tell you there's no maintenance person here, so I don't know if I did the right thing by calling you guys because I do not know what the protocol is here.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I assume that that alarm should be going directly to the fire thing
Yeah. And firemen coming.
and the
Yeah.
firemen can come because they know the alarm's gone off,
Mm.
whatever. Don't, okay, madam, thanks so much. We'll send the fire department. So the fire department shows up like literally 2 seconds after I called them. I mean, that's how I knew there was something wrong because that thing went off for like 15 minutes and it was going off for
Cool.
15 minutes. And you can't turn that off yourself, right?
No, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they show up and they're like, hey, what's going on? And I said, listen, I called you. I said, I can tell you for a fact that the maintenance is not here. And in
Yes.
the time I'm waiting for whatever, like deciding, do I call or not? I see that woman who I told you's got all the phone numbers. And I told her, have you tried calling the owner? She
Mm.
said, she goes, no, but I'll call him. I said, fine. So she tries to call him. He doesn't answer his phone. So then I
Yeah.
said to her, by the way, I hear there was a sign up here.
Mm.
And, who's the backup? And she says, oh, the backup's this guy. And I
Mm.
said, well, does anybody have this guy's phone number? And
Yeah.
she's like, I do, but it's on the sign there. Well, the sign is not there.
Not here anymore.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, of course, as I'm like, we're waiting for the fireman, whatever, there's another person who lives here on my floor, came downstairs was downstairs waiting. And you know how you just chit chat with people. So you find stuff out. So the guy says to me, oh, I saw the sign the first day it was put up, but it was only there for 24 hours and it got taken down.
Why?
Well, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, hello, if the person is gone on vacation for 3 weeks and there
Three,
is a backup phone number there, you keep the sign there for
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, who took it down, for goodness sakes?
I think it was the owner. Why? Because the owner came for the first of the month
Hmm.
to there, because there's some of us that have been here so long, he never switched us to pay our rent automatically as a direct withdrawal from the account. Like new people, he
Right.
did that, but for some of the
Yeah,
older people, they still pay by check. So he
I
comes, he
see.
just picks up a few checks and goes to take them to the bank. Okay. So I bet you any money he came in and said, well, we don't need that. I'll just take that sign off the wall. Because I told you, he's a genius, this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the firemen come, they do their walk around, there's nothing, they go check the thing, this and that, and I'm standing there and I'm like, "Hey, can I just ask you, is that box there that I said, I'm assuming nobody else has the keys. He goes, no, only a fireman allowed to open the box with the keys and turn the alarm off because it's the panel that tells them where the fire is and blah, 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 where it's
Okay. Yeah.
gone off, yada, yada. And I said, okay. And I said, he goes, well, who's here? I said, no maintenance, no backup. They even tried calling the backup guy and he didn't answer his phone either.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm like, okay. And I said like, can you tell me, is that thing connected or can it be connected to you guys? Like, so that in the first 5 minutes that's
You'd have
going
been here.
on, you actually come as opposed to me like having to decide or find out, did somebody actually phone the fire department?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And he goes, yeah, it can be. He goes, but that's not how your owner has it set up.
Would he have to pay to actually have it connected? That, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so
So the whole
I
place
told you
would be
he's a
on.
cheap ass. He doesn't want to do anything until
Yeah.
he has to. I told you, didn't replace the pipes until, of course, it was raining in
Working
my
through.
thing and I lost everything. It's just this is him. This is what I'm saying to you is about this is the way
Mm.
he operates. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Anyway, they come, they leave. The fireman, because at this point, then Francoise tells me, go open all the back garages. I don't know why she wanted me to do it, but I just go and I go do it because she asked me to do it. And so I go to the back and I press some buttons so the garage doors can open and whatever. And she says, oh, I finally got a hold of the guy. He's at work in, whatever town. And
Yeah.
like it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's gonna take the guy like an hour to get here because it's traffic at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm like, okay, interesting. Well, whatever. Okay, fine. And the firemen leave, and then people are like, so what happened? I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't talk to the firemen. Like,
Did they turn the alarm off?
well, of course they came. They turned the
They
alarm
turned the
off.
alarm
They
off.
went and did their
Yeah.
thing because they look on the panel. The panel tells them what's going on. They go to the
Right.
place. Then they go and they check other things just in case because there's two buildings. But it said it was in this building that the alarm went off in this building. Who knows? Did somebody pull the box because there's a kid or they're dumb or they're I don't know or is it faulty? I'm gonna guess and say it's faulty
Mm.
because we've had many false alarms in here
Yes.
in this building.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fine. And then so I said, did you Francois talk to them before that? She goes, no, I don't know, whatever. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know who talked to who, because clearly there's no one point of communication. So I told her, oh, okay, well, I'll go close the garage doors. So I walk back, I close the garage doors, I walk into the foyer and I start chit-chatting with her, and the fire alarm goes off again.
No. So there's a short circuit somewhere then, isn't
Oh,
there,
there's
or
something,
something?
who knows? Okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, so Francoise, what would you like me to do?
Yeah.
Do you want to wait 45 minutes to an hour till that guy gets here
Or
and
shall
let
we
it
phone the
beep for
fire
45
brigade?
minutes to an hour? Or would you like me to call 911?
Yeah.
She goes, well, obviously call 911. Okay, 911. Hi, I called you like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, alarm's gone off
And
again.
guess what? Can you connect me to the fire department then? Because it's gone off again.
Yes.
The guys show up. Okay, now the fireman, he comes straight over to me and he says, did you get a hold of the owner? I said, yeah, well, she did. I said, why don't you talk to her? Because she talked to him on the phone. But he
Oh,
hasn't shown up.
yeah.
I would think maybe when he knows he's got his main maintenance person is not here and your backup person is not here and
Mm,
this is your property, maybe you want to show up if you would like my rent.
yeah.
He goes in the backup guy. I said, well, he's stuck in traffic. Don't know
Mm,
when he'll get here. He's like, okay. So they take the box, they whatever, they just do what they got to do again because they've got to do their due diligence. This is, they follow
yeah.
their process. The poor guys, I said, listen, I'm really sorry. I hate that I am wasting your time, number one,
Um,
and possibly taking you away from a real fire, number two.
yeah. Yeah.
I said, but I didn't know what else to do. And he said, you did the right thing, madam. It's never a
Yeah.
wrong thing, even if it's a false alarm.
Well,
Okay. He
yeah.
goes, however, he goes, could you call the owner, please? I said, sure. I said, Francoise, can you call the owner? This pompier here would like to speak to
Yeah.
just speak to him. So what I loved was she called and she put him on voicemail or on hands free, I should say.
Yeah.
She put them on hands free. And let's not forget, it's been piss pouring raining this whole day. So that we have a locked door and then we have an open door and we have like a glass thing in the middle. So lots of people were standing in just that entranceway because clearly we knew it was a false alarm. And no,
Yes.
we didn't want to be standing out in the rain. So there's a whole bunch of people standing in there. And the pompiers, that's where the one of the boxes is that he's there.
Yeah.
And she passes the phone to him, and he's like, hello, sir, this is the fire department, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Like something's going on here. And so are you? And he's doing this. Oh, ah, oh, well, I didn't, yeah. Like, I mean, he doesn't even know how to, he could see. And lots of people were doing this. Like, okay, so
Yeah.
it was great because I gave some people an eye
An
opener.
insight into what
Yeah.
he's like.
Meanwhile, me and Francoise, we're doing this in the background. Dinner and a show. Okay. Long story short, the pompier hangs up with the guy, whatever. He never showed up, period.
Well, he didn't
Because
know
he's
what to do, did he? He didn't know what.
because he's not in town.
Oh,
So he's not in town. Your main maintenance person is not in town, and your backup maintenance person goes to work,
day job.
day
Hmm.
job, which means they're not really a maintenance person. It means you give him $5, $100 off his rent, and he'll take the garbage out.
Yeah.
That to me was, I was like, okay, anytime now, universe, you could bring me a job with money,
I can move.
I could move.